Hello and welcome to Magical Travel Adventure. I am Lauren, your host, and today we are going to be talking about Pop Century Resort at Walt Disney World. If this is the first time you are here, hello, I am Lauren. I'm a travel advisor and I help prioritize your vacation so you see what you want, not just what everyone tells you you need to see. My information is below if you have questions, but I would like to get right into it and talk about Pop Century. So I have been doing these videos about I'm trying to do all the resorts at Walt Disney World so that you can better make a decision about what's available, what you might want, where you might want to stay, and just some ideas about the different properties at Walt Disney World. So this is Pop Century and it is going through the decades, so the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and each area is themed to a different time period or a different decade. And as you can see, it has large icons. We have the large Mickey over here. We have the foosball table people here. And in between this, there's a building on this side and there's a building on the other side. This is a value resort and it is a motel style and can sleep up to 4 people in a room. So let's look a little bit more. I'm going to show you a map of the resort. So in this map, you can kind of see that, there's parking kind of all along the different areas here and up here. And so this is the 50s area. So there's actually 3 buildings that you can be in, and there is a bowling pin pool right here. This is the 60s area. Again, there's 2 buildings here where there is also a big pool here. If you continue to walk out this walkway, this is where the Skyliner access is. And if you keep walking, you will go over to Art of Animation. It's another resort, which we will get to eventually. This area over here is the 70s area. There is no pool in between here. And then this area over here is our 90s area. Sorry, 80s and 90s area, I should say. So you can see those 2 locations here also. This blue area here is Classic Hall. This is where the check-in area is. Out front is where you would catch the buses, and it is the where you can get food and where there is shopping here. So no rooms are in this main building. So you are definitely going to be staying in an outside building if you're staying here. Now, some resort basics. This is a value resort. Okay. It is the type of rooms that there are standard and preferred rooms. The food option is quick service. That's the only option you have. And then there are 3 pools. And then getting around to the different places, the parks are Skyliner and bus transportation. Okay, so some of the amenities that we're talking about that are at all Disney resorts are there is bell services and a front desk staff. There's complimentary transportation to the parks. There's quick service dining. There's multiple pools. There's arcades, a gift shop, and there's different resort activities depending on when you're staying, what time of year, what type of resort you're staying at, what type of activities you get. So those are things that are just across all of the hotels. So it doesn't matter which one you're staying at. There are all those things offered. Now, if we talk about the rooms here at Pop Century, so if you look at the top left, that is just like the basic room view. So you're going to have that TV, that cabinet there that does have 3 drawers, but if you open up those 2 big drawers over here, there's going to be a safe and a pillow, and then like a little shelf that you might be able to put something else on. However, I will say the cabinet space up here is wonderful. I usually fill it all when I'm there, and then your luggage will easily fit underneath this bed. You also, there are knobs here to hang things, which I thought was so silly, but you definitely need it. This is if you have adjoining rooms. There is a door here. you might have a room, it has an adjoining door, but you wouldn't open it. You have to open on both sides to get through the adjoining door. Um, so that's kind of what it looks like. Now, over here, you can kind of see it's like a different angle. So you can see like this is the view from this um, bed. There is like a table here that when you flip it down becomes the second bed. So that's kind of important because when you open the room, it's going to have one bed in it, and then you will not see the second bed, and it's a Murphy bed that you're going to have to pull down. Now that table is great, but there's two chairs with it. So you're going to have to find room for those two chairs in the room when you have the bed down. And I will say it is very tight when both beds are down. You have just enough room to walk around the two beds, but each of the beds has lots of USB and lights. Like every bed has its own lights. You have your own USB on both sides. So if you're a glasses wearer like I am, that's always a huge deal for me that I need somewhere to put my glasses every single time. Um, Also, I want to say that if you look over here, there's like a little coffee station. So there's going to be a little Cuisinart thing here. They have coffee stuff here that you can use. There's an ice bucket. There's like some cups that you can use also. And then there's a small cooler. It's not a refrigerator. And I say that because it will not keep milk cold. So be aware of that if you're staying there. Unless you're staying in a Disney Vacation Club resort where there's an actual refrigerator and freezer combo, you're not going to be able to do that at any resort. It's always going to be the cooler. So it's not going to be milk. Milk will not stay in these resorts. Um, you can kind of see that this is the door that separates you from the bathroom. It's like a barn door, so you close it or open it. So the sink part is like down here, is kind of open into the room. And then there's another pocket door here for your toilet and for your shower combination. Now, for dining, your one option is the Everything Pop Dining, which is the quick service option. You can mobile order. It has very basic things in here. I'm so sorry for this pop-up. I'm not sure why it's doing that. But it's just a great option. So it has all the basic stuff that you would want in a resort anyways, but it only has that quick service dining. And I've stayed here a lot and normally it does not bother me, but the last couple times it's like, okay, how many like chicken sandwiches and burgers can I have in like a week? When I just want something different. Now you can take the Skyliner over to one of the other hotels there too, but sometimes it's like you just want it at your hotel. But this is a great option. And especially if you're going to be in the parks all the time, just grabbing something quickly in the morning or even late at night, this is a good option for you. Now, shopping is Everything Pop Shopping, and really Everything Pop Shopping merges into the dining. So don't be surprised if, it's all kind of there and you're just walking through one to get to the other. They do have some special merchandise that is just for Pop Century, just like they do at most of the resorts. And it's a small store, but it has a lot of things. Now the pools, I didn't put all three in, but I put two of them in. This is the main pool, the hippity dippity pool. And then this is the bowling alley pool. And the other one in the 80s, 90s section is literally just a square rectangle pool. So nothing special about that. Again, at the main pool, there will be more activities and things like that. The bowling pin pool and the computer pool in the 90s section, those are calmer and they're just pools. At all the pools, they have life vests, they have towels. So those are things that you don't need to worry about. There are lifeguards there, but if you have kids, they expect you to be there with your kids when they are swimming. No water slides, nothing like that. There is a little splash area, which you probably can't see in these pictures, but there are small splash areas at this main pool, and this is outside the main building. So you can kind of see this where this little orange part is. This is the main building where you can get the information, not the information, where you catch the buses. It's the front desk, it's the food area, and things like that. Now, there is little Petals pool bar over here where you can get drinks, and there is a refillable station for if you have one of the refillable mugs. But that it's very limited there and it's not open all the time. So don't expect that all the time. Now, transportation. A lot of this is why this hotel is so popular, is because of the transportation options here. So you're getting a value resort that you are getting Skyliner access to. So to get to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, you are taking the Skyliner there. So you do not need a bus, and you're walking out to that Skyliner station, getting on it, and then you take it to Caribbean Beach, where you were change and either go to Hollywood Studios or Epcot. So you do have to make a transfer, but I will say the ride from the Pop Century to Caribbean Beach is probably about 5 minutes, maybe. And then you get off and you transfer, and it's probably another 5 minutes to Hollywood Studios and maybe 10 minutes to get to Epcot. I love the Skyliner. If you're new here and you don't know, it's by far the best transportation option I've ever seen. And I love it. And it's a reason that we stay in this area all the time, is because I love, 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 love. Just love the Skyliner, and I love taking it. Now, to get to the Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, or Disney Springs, your only option is a bus. Of course, you could take Uber, Lyft, or you could take a minivan if you want to do those things, but that's like a whole nother video. So this is what the free transportation option is. So talking about some of the pros and cons, this is probably the best value for your money, is staying at Pop Century. If you're just looking for a room and you're just looking for that, the amenities that come along with the Disney resort, this is a great option for you. Having that Skyliner access just gives you that extra touch that just makes it so much easier. It's so nice to just walk out there and get on the Skyliner. When you're at the parks, it's easy to get on at the end of the night. When you're there in the morning, it's a great way to get on there from your resort. I love it. The standard rooms really are not that far away. Now, some of them are really far away, but if you use a travel advisor, they should be able to help you so you can get the room that you want, or at least the area that you want. And there are obviously standard rooms that are closer. The preferred rooms are just closer to that main building. That's not always helpful for you, because they're also the louder rooms that are right around that main pool. So you really need to know what to request if you're requesting to stay at Pop Century, and you have to know if you're going to be in that 60 section around that main pool. It will be loud. You're just in that area. The sound doesn't go anywhere, so it's right there. The cons, I will say, is the rooms are tight. If you have to put down that second bed, I will say you probably want to put it up once everyone's up in the morning and moving around, because it gets very tight. The walls are really thin. I think every time I've stayed there, I've been on the second floor except for once, and I can hear above me and below me at all times. So just be aware of that. For some people, it doesn't matter as much. I'm a super light sleeper, so I'm often woken up by that. There's also a fan in the bathroom that you can't always control, but that's like Disney-wide for some reason. So there are ways around that too. But yes, the first 2 nights I forget about the fan in the bathroom, and it just randomly turns on and off all the time. The other kind I would say is that, it's just limited options, but that's what you're getting at a value resort, is just that one food court. So just know that ahead of time and you'll be all set. So great reasons to stay at Pop Century. One is if you love taking the Skyliner, or you're really into Hollywood Studios or Epcot, this is a great way to get to either one of those resorts or either one of those parks. It's a great place to stay if you're really going to be at the resort, not at the resort a lot, and in the parks more. I think this is a great option for two adults coming with smaller kids. I think when you get into older kids, it does start to get a little tight. And if you're coming with a group, this is a great place to stay because maybe some of you will stay at Art of Animation, which is just across the way. Some of you can stay at Pop Century. Some of you might even stay at Caribbean Beach, which is just a Skyliner spot away. So those are all different types of options when you're talking about a group. This is a good location to stay because there's all different types of options that connect you with the Skyliner so that you easily can all be together. Things that my clients say about Pop Century. They love the Skyliner access. Like that's all everyone talks about. It's not just me that talks about it. Everyone who stays there talks about it. Everyone really likes those large Mickey icons in the 70s area, that big Mickey phone. That's a huge thing. And there's just large icons like that around that really make you feel like you're at Disney World. And it's a great price for a value resort. If you stay tuned to some of the other videos, you'll see like Art of Animation isn't really a value resort as much as they say it is. And it's definitely like my top pick. If you're going to be at a value resort, this is always going to be my top pick. It is the best value. It is the best location. You're getting the most for what you are for staying there. A lot of my clients say this is, they really like this place because they were mostly in the parks, but in the future, this is not where they want to be because they want to be they just want more time at the resort and there's not as much to do at the resort at Pop Century. Now, with that being said, I will say that Pop Century does an amazing job with different activities around. So during the day, they have activities like tie-dyeing t-shirts, making different crafts. They have a lot of stuff at the pools where they're really entertaining the kids a lot. So there are a lot of great things that are happening at Pop Century. And so if you're nervous about, where should you stay? Is it, should I stay here or should I stay somewhere else? Make sure you check out some of the other videos so you can kind of see. But if you're looking for the best price for the best hotel at Walt Disney World, I would say that Pop Century by far you're going to get the best value for what you're paying for. And you're going to feel like, okay, I made the right choice because I'm staying at Pop Century and I have the Skyliner access. So that's awesome. And I'm getting to stay here and I have access to a lot of other resorts because of the Skyliner. So just remember that when you're deciding where you're going to stay. All right, that will wrap up today's video. If you have questions, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time on Magical Travel Adventure. Bye.